Hello, welcome to Eleanor's vlog. Introducing Eleanor!
Hello, happy campers! So we're in the rehearsal room right now, waiting to be called. We're going to go in, do our first official performance, and it's going to be amazing.
What are you going to take from Epic Stages at the end of this? Like, what's the one thing you can say you like?
Discovered that sisterhood is better than cutting women down.
Absolutely.
And that actually, if you just go into new relationships with everyone's nice, then they actually probably are.
Yeah, so true. So true. Anything you hated about your time here?
I mean, obviously you.
I'm the best bit, probably.
No, there's the only thing I hated was the commute. Oh my god, that was
yeah, I didn't
Not
to do that.
She was in halls, so.
Luckily. But I realised I live in Surrey near you.
Yeah, so we can meet up.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem happy about that.
Yeah. I'm joking.
What have you loved? And what's the one thing that you've learned that you're going to take with you into life?
Yeah, I've learned that judge people less. Like, I think it's so easy. Like, yeah, feminism is like a thing to be proud of, and it's never like whatever any woman does, it's their choice, and like don't try and knock people down.
Yes.
Like, yeah, proper.
Big up women.
Big up, yeah, making stuff as a whole group is like really satisfying. I think if we'd just been directed and like we'd had no input, it wouldn't have been as satisfying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all our ideas are in there, even though some of us have only got like 6 or 7 lines.
We're still like our soul is
ideas
there.
are there, like, and it's just a massive collab. It's just like,
I agree with you. It's definitely taught me as well, like you don't always have to be the star of the show to be as important, because if any one of us wasn't there, then it wouldn't work.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. We're all important.
So yeah, that's that really, and bye. The reason it's been so long since I did my last NYT video is because I've just been absolutely knackered and just kind of getting back into normal life without NYT. So I've left myself a little bit of time to really think and digest all of the different things that I learnt on the course, be it about myself, about practitioners, anything really. And these are the things I've taken from the course. So first off, acting is not easy. I mean, I knew this already, but it is physically and mentally draining. And if you watch my videos that I did through the course, then you will see that there's one in particular where I'm just a shell of a person. I had one sort of day of like a real low moment, and it wasn't pleasant, but it happens. So I think it's taught me that it's okay to have those days, and it's about how you cope with them, not about how you beat yourself up about them, that really sort of makes you as a person and an actor. I've also learnt that it's draining in a way that, you know, physically you need to be at your best. You need to take care of yourself. If you have to choose between that late night and a couple of drinks and an early night and sort of getting well rested, then you need to make those choices sometimes, which maybe make you feel like you're not being as social as you want to be, but you try a real early commute and then circuits with a hangover, and you'll quickly change what your social habits are, perhaps. Onto the social side of things, I think it's taught me to really sort of go into things completely open and with no judgments whatsoever. At NYT, especially my course, the all-female group, I got the email saying that I was going to be in an all-women's group, and if I'm honest, I was terrified. I thought it's going to be cliquey, it's going to be bitchy, it's just not going to be fun at all. I thought it's not a natural environment. I kind of tend to think that I would prefer to work with boys a little bit more. However, I couldn't have been more wrong. The group of women that I work with were spectacular. They were all really, really encouraging, really inspirational, all had their own talents, all sort of wanted to bring everyone up together. And there was no cliques. We all sat together at lunch. We're all friends, you know, we really worked together to create an ensemble piece. Part of that is down to the women that we worked with, and part of it is down to our director and our course assistant. So they worked extremely well together, and to sort of mould us into this ensemble group, so that from the get-go it was established that we were going to be a strong crew, and that was it. There was going to be nothing but love and support in our group. Speaking about the director and our course assistant, so Frex and Briar, they were really good at creating a safe space to work in. So when you work in acting, obviously it's emotional, and there's times that you'll go to places that maybe aren't as comfortable to go to, and you need to feel safe in an environment. If you're not familiar with acting workshops or anything like that, then I don't mean safe as in physically, although that is also necessary as well. I mean sort of mentally safe. So if you need to go to some sort of dark place to find a memory, or if you need to do a exercise which is going to make you feel a certain way, be that overly happy, overly sad, any of these sorts of things, then you need to make sure that you feel that the person leading the workshop is completely aware of everyone in the room, and that they are making sure that everyone is safe, and that no one's going to leave that room feeling bad. And I completely and utterly felt safe with Frex and with Briar, so yeah, that was great as well. We had a lot of people come into NYT. We had a week of external people coming in and sort of giving us days of, we did movement, we did masks, we did singing, we did beatboxing, all of these sorts of things. We did film, and I think, again, what it really showed me is when you've got one day and you've got to learn as much as you can, really suck it in. You just have to have this sort of like sponge-like mentality and be really open to everything. You need to be ready to just throw yourself into a day and just go. So this is something that our group is not alone in being guilty of, but I think when you're friends, or when you get to that stage where you're friends and you're with each other day in, day out, when you're sent away to have a break, you can come back and you're still chatting from your break and you're still in that break mode. But if you've got one day to learn as much as you can, you have to be very professional, I would say, with your time management, and with your just attitude in general. Now, it's not to say that anyone was disrespectful, but I think 30 women sort of all chatting and being friends and being supportive, it can transfer into the room a little bit, and then you can sort of start to lose 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, which, as I said, if you've only got a day to learn as much as you can really make an impact. So a self note to myself would be to be more punctual or earlier even, and to just really learn the lesson of when you're in the room, you're in the room, and when you're out the room, you're out the room, and to really have that clear boundary so that you maximise your working time, and you also have some time for social time. That's also a note to anyone who's thinking about doing the NYT course, just to remember that you've only got a month, and I know that sounds like a long time, but it's not. It will literally fly by, and you'll want to be at this stage that I am now, looking back and thinking, yes, I got everything that I could from that course. Another thing I would say, if you are doing this course or any of the other courses, is to keep a journal. I did a video diary because I'm dyslexic, and to be honest, writing is not the thing I find easiest, and it's just sometimes easier to just talk at a camera and just capture your emotions as they come out of your mouth, rather than to having to really try to think to get what I think here onto paper. However, some people don't like this, so if you want to do a journal that's just sort of bullet points, or that's an essay style, or whatever it is, but I highly recommend doing one for exercises that you've picked up in class that you think that's amazing, or didn't really like that, or just sort of notes about what makes you tick, what gets you to the point that you need to get to. But also an emotional journal, because I've recently watched through my videos, and I just think it's really empowering to see how you start and where you end up, and to watch how much just a month can change you as a person, and also your sort of outlook on the industry, or just different techniques that you may have learned, and you think, oh, I can see it, I can see the change right there. That's where I learned this, and that made me think of this, and it's just a really interesting way of monitoring how you change. And I think as an actor, it is all about your brain, your emotions, your soul. It's all about you, and how you can better yourself to give those performances that you need or want to give. So I would definitely advise some sort of journal. I would also advise definitely making notes of exercises, because I know from my point of view, I have a huge document that I'm pulling together, which I will share with everyone on my blog, of all the exercises which I learnt and the ones I really loved. And honestly, this thing is pages long at the moment, which is why I've not finished it, but it will be invaluable for me, because even little sort of games that you may have learnt, which at the time maybe, I don't know, maybe you think, oh, it's fun, but how will I actually use this? When you then have done your final performance and you look at your final performance and you think, oh yeah, now I can really see how that game linked and influenced the way that we worked and created something. So those are the sorts of things that you really want to hang on to, because, I mean, for script work as well, but definitely in the devised world, you will need all this stimulus to be able to create your own work, because as we learned at NYT, you can't just sit there often and wait for a job to come to you. Another thing is networking. I know it's like a really grim term and everyone hates it in every different industry, but it is essential, because you need to network to be able to create work, unless you're only going to do one-woman shows or one-man shows. But even then, you need contacts within the industry. And what I would say is there are a lot of people at NYT. When you go and do your courses, there are directors, there's course assistants, there's former NYT members, there's lots of people who come in and do talks. And you don't need to do it in a pushy sort of superficial way. You can just have conversations with these people, just pick their brains, just sort of, yeah, just if you need to grab 5 minutes having a chat with someone, getting some advice, if there's something you've always wanted to know about mask work, for example, on that day, ask a few questions. Don't hold back. Don't feel like you can't ask questions, because people are there to help you. That's why they've come and to sort of be part of the NYT. Is to help young actors or theatre professionals, yeah, definitely ask as many questions as you can. From my point of view, I would then say to then go and ask them all for their Twitter handles and follow them all on Twitter. I'm saying that because I love social media, but also because it's just a really easy way that you would maybe find as not too overbearing to follow people's careers. You know, for example, Grace, who came in and did our beatboxing workshop, who was amazing. I follow her on Twitter, and I've now seen that she's doing a show that I can go and watch. So it's just sort of ways of just keeping an eye on other people's careers and really supporting people back as much as trying to learn things from them in the future. I think the other thing that I've learned is, this is more about myself, is that I came into this course, and I'm a bit apprehensive to say this because I know that it's a bit of a topic, but I would not have classed myself as a feminist coming into this course at all. I just wouldn't. People ask why, and it's a little bit hard to sort of say exactly why, but I suppose, I mean, the media does a great job at making feminist a dirty word. So that's probably number one, guilty as charged. Number two is what my idea of feminism was. Again, probably related to the media and what they make it out to be. I left this course completely and utterly, wholeheartedly a feminist. And that's something for me that I think is invaluable. Like, completely invaluable. 30 days with these incredible women just supporting one another, boosting one another, no one tearing one another down, everyone only being constructive and positive was really, really powerful for me. And I think it changed how I view other women and how I feel other women view me, which I think is actually more of the issue. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest and best thing that I've got from this course, is to walk away 100% firm in the view that I am a feminist, and that it's not a dirty word, and that I can say that, and that I really have no qualms about sort of announcing that. Yeah, so that's a little bit intense, but that's one of the biggest things to me. And then of course it's the friendships that come. You know, I say about the networking, and there is the networking, but there's also the friendships. There's 150 people who take part in the NYT courses at one time. So that's 150 young actors or directors or writers or producers or whatever they may be that you can bond with. And those are the people that you can then go on to create work with. So if you can, you know, make friends with these people, bond with these people, then you're almost forging your own careers, because you're saying, well, fine, if the industry at the moment is or feels a bit closed off, then I'll get together with my own colleagues and we'll create our own work. So yeah, that's again, it's quite empowering, this course, is what I would say. I think there's a lot of negativity around the industry. Sometimes it feels like you're really smashing against the door that is just not going to open. And it feels just completely unattainable sometimes. However, the NYT do an amazing job at just really making it feel so much more graspable, that you can go and you can get it and you can do it yourself, and you just leave, or I did, feeling completely and utterly empowered that you are good enough, that you can learn, that there are people who are willing to help you, that there are ways of getting in without the standard route of drama school, agent, that sort of thing. So before I ramble on for a million years, I would just quickly give a bit of advice for anyone who is thinking, oh, do I audition, do I not sure about NYT, and that is, do it. Definitely do it. You learn so much from the audition day alone that it's completely worth it. And then if you manage to get in to the course, then it will be something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. I didn't meet anyone on the course who had a purely negative time. There might, as I've said, be some low points for you, but that's okay, because you need to know that that is okay to have some moments where your body's saying no, but your mind is pushing through all the other way. But in the main, it will teach you about yourself, it will teach you about the industry, and it should, and I truly believe it will, make you completely empowered to go and be part of that industry. There's also obviously, you know, an amazing network of support once you are an NYT member. There's job boards, there's events, there's a multitude of different sort of benefits of being a member, and there's so yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone who's thinking about auditioning to go and audition, to book your slot now. I think they're open again, and to go and audition, to give it your best, to really go to the audition and have the mindset of, okay, I've got one day, let's see how much I can learn and how much I can show, and get rid of any inhibitions that you have. Just throw yourself into it, and that's the kind of person that they're looking for. So yes, my NYT journey has ended. Well, my NYT Epic Stages journey has ended, but I'm now an NYT member. That goes on for a year, because I'm 25, so I have a limited amount of time, but I'm intending to make the absolute most of it. And I kind of already think that that's begun on my Epic Stages course. So yes, that's where I'll leave you. I start East 15 on the 25th of September, so my next journey is soon to begin, and I am very excited for that. I feel a little bit sort of in between things at the moment, from NYT to East 15, not really sure who my brain is, what I'm doing with my life. So I'm going to say goodbye now and enjoy Portugal and a nice glass of wine and the sunny sun here, and I will catch up with you when I have started East 15. Bye.